grade 2s, welcome to your literacy lesson for Tuesday, April 14th. I hope you all had a good long weekend, and today we're going to be talking a little bit more, actually for the whole week, we're going to be talking a little bit more about procedural texts. So today I think it's important that you start with the writing lesson before the reading lesson because you need the writing lesson to be able to do the reading assignment. So let's review what we know about procedural text so far. Before we do that, I just want to let you know I've seen a lot of your procedural texts about how to make an ice cream cone or how to get ready for a winter's day, and I think you did an excellent job. A lot of you, when I gave you corrections, you fixed them and then sent them to me, which is awesome to see that you're taking suggestions and you're making your work even better. That's awesome. So I'm pretty impressed with your writing so far. So we're going to review. Okay, so I'm just going to go through kind of a PowerPoint to jog your memory about what we learned so far about procedural writing. So how to write a how-to or procedural text, and there I am sitting on my little books. What is a how-to? Well, it tells you how to do something step by step, and I'm pretty sure we all know that by now. Procedural means a process. So when you're telling somebody how to do something step by step, you're teaching them a process. Next, we have examples in the real day-to-day world, in our real life. Cookbooks are examples of procedural or how-to texts. Instruction manuals for building something such as a bike. Google Maps, which gives you step-by-step directions. Experiment sheets, they tell you what materials you need and how you're going to do the procedure and each step. And then instructions like for a board game or something like that, like Guess Who. Okay. We talked about being an expert. You should only write a how-to about something that you feel like you're an expert at. I talked about how I wouldn't be the person to write a how-to about skiing or about how to work out at the gym or something like that. I am not athletic, but I am a great cook. So I could be an expert at making chicken noodle soup or something like that. I would choose something I'm comfortable with and that I know that I'm good at. Okay. It's important to always list the materials that you need. So if you're building a snowman, what would those materials be? Okay. You might need buttons for his, like the middle part of the snowman and for the eyes, maybe a carrot for the nose. Maybe you need a hat, a scarf. You need mittens. You need twigs or tree branches for arms. Okay. To brush your teeth, you need a toothbrush, you need toothpaste, you need running water, you need a cup to rinse your mouth out, that sort of thing, okay? Transition words is going to be a focus this week. Transition words tell us that we're moving into a new step. So words like first, next, last, before, while, then, finally, after, in the end, in conclusion. Also, step one, first, to start, then, next, after, last, finally. I'm going to challenge you this week to not just use number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Try to use these sequence or transition words, okay? And try to use different ones to practice. I just want to revise that pictures and illustrations are important to help make your point very clear. I really like pictures when I'm reading instructions. I find them very helpful. And this is an example of a how-to with pictures as well, okay? And be specific. It's so important to be specific. Basically it. Just one more thing, you need to remember to have a title, list all the items that you need, list the steps in order using sequence words, draw pictures that show the step-by-steps. You need specific details and you need a closing sentence. So that's really important. You need to be able to put the steps in a logical order. So if I was telling somebody to brush their teeth, I wouldn't say put the toothpaste on your toothbrush and then rinse your... I don't really know where I'm going with that. Okay. How do you stop this? It's honestly my cross to bear. Today's writing is a little bit different. You're going to be reading a how-to and following the directions from that how-to and doing it yourself. And if you're successful at the end, that means that I did a good job because I wrote the how-to. If you are not successful at the end, then maybe I didn't do a good job at the how-to. And you're going to give me feedback on how I could have done a better job. I want you to look very critically. What does that mean? Like very carefully at my how-to and see if I did everything that we have talked about. Do I have all of the parts of a good how-to? Do I have a title? Do I have a list of materials? Do I have step-by-step directions? Do I have sequence words? Do I have pictures? Do I have a good closing statement? Am I specific? Okay, so you need to judge me on all of that criteria, okay, at the very end. But to start, you're going to read my how-to, read it closely, and you're going to do everything the how-to tells you to do. That's the first step.